The European Drinking Water Cooler Association has developed strict guidelines on how to connect a point-of-use water cooler to the mains, which not only covers all regulatory water industry requirements, but also meets additional standards of hygiene and safety. Mandatory for all EDWCA members, these guidelines have become widely recognised as the industry standard. It is an absolute and EDWCA requirement that point-of-use drinking water coolers are connected to a potable drinking water supply, and that the connection to the supply meets Water Supply and Fittings Regulations 1999 for England and Wales and the Scottish Water Bylaws 2004 for Scotland. Be extremely careful to find a rising main of potable water. Do not connect to an open tank system still used in older buildings. The most common ways of identifying a mains potable supply are: speak to the building's facility manager, locate and trace pipework back, and pressure test the water supply. Water pressure below 1 bar could be a telltale sign that the supply is being gravity fed and comes from a tank. The basic premise of the water supply and fitting regulations are to protect the mains water supply and to protect the user of the drinking water supply. The EDWCA operate a joint point-of-use installers course with WRC NSF, which includes training on water supply and fitting regulations. This course is mandatory for EDWCA distributor point-of-use installers. There are two established methods for connecting to a mains potable supply. The first is known as the DIY method, using a RAS-approved self-cutting valve to cut into the mains supply pipe. The second and favoured method by installers nowadays is to cut the supply pipe with a pipe cutter and to use compression fittings to make a permanent connection, as pictured here. All connections to the mains must be RAS-approved to avoid contamination of the supply by tainting, discoloration and taste. It includes a non-return valve right next to the connection to the mains to prevent backflow of water into the mains supply. In practice, this means that the connection to the mains must be made of inert material with a non-return valve to avoid backflushing. There are commercially available, fully assembled plumbing rails or plumbing kits. For ease of explanation, we are using a plumbing kit with compression fittings for this video. Please note that runs of flexible 1/4 inch pipework must be no longer than 10 meters, preferably 3 meters, to reduce the risk of bacterial growth inside the pipework and limit the effect on reduced water pressure, which will affect the performance of the anti-flood device, known as the water block. Pipe runs must avoid running behind radiators or close to electrical or lighting points. Let me show you how to make a professional connection using compression fittings. Find your mains drinking water supply and turn the water off. Cut approximately 1.5 centimeters out of the copper water pipe using a professional pipe cutter. Next, slide the two compression fittings onto either side of the copper pipe. Insert the T-piece and tighten the compression fittings. Connect a short length of copper pipe to the T-piece. Attach a brass stem connector to the non-return valve, followed by the water block. Next, attach this assembly to the extended T-piece. Screw the 1/4 inch push fit connector to the water block and insert the plastic tubing, securing it with a collet. Following the installation to a potable water supply, a water filter would be fitted ahead of the water cooler. The primary function of the water filter is to remove the taste, smell and odour of chlorine. A secondary function is to stop parasitic cysts such as Cryptosporidium and Giardia. This is achieved by a carbon block filter with a 1 micron filtration performance and 95% removal of particles. In addition to the EDWCA WRC NSF Point of Use Installation Training course, which is mandatory for point of use installers, the EDWCA also run a mandatory hygiene course for installers and sanitizers of point of use and bottled water coolers. All EDWCA distributors are audited every 12 months against strict guidelines on hygiene and installation. An audit pass is a prerequisite for continuing EDWCA membership. Fully audited EDWCA distributors are the best guarantee to provide you with healthy, clean and refreshing drinking water. It must not be forgotten that water is food.